There's a lot of talk about how camels store water in their humps. But a recently published study shows that it's not quite accurate to say they store water in their humps at all. What gives? Are camels just big hairy balloons full of hot air? No, it turns out there's more to this desert-dwelling beast than meets the eye. Camels can go without water for days, even in the blistering heat. Which is impressive because 75% of our body is made up of water, and we have to drink some every day just to survive. Camels don't have to. And when they do drink, they can gobble up to 30 gallons at a time. That is enough to fill up a small paddling pool, and it can make them look like they've got water stored inside their bodies. But that's not what's going on here either. Instead, what makes camels such excellent survivors in the driest, hottest parts of the world is a suite of small physiological changes that add up to big adaptations. And one of these adaptations has to do with their humps. They do store fat there. And when that fat is metabolized, it produces water as a byproduct. So while it's not water storage per se, the water produced from this process can account for around a fifth of a camel's total water intake. But where does all this water go? Some of it, according to a 2023 study, is stored in their blood. Camels have a higher concentration of red blood cells than other mammals. It's bled. And those red blood cells contain a protein called hemoglobin, which grabs onto oxygen in the lungs and releases it into the body. Hemoglobin also grabs onto water, and the extra water in the blood helps transport heat around the body, keeping cool. This strategy comes with a cost, though. When the camels were studied, researchers found that the blood took longer to clot, so they might bleed more if they get injured. But this isn't a huge problem for camels, since they do and really bleed much to begin with. See, they've also evolved to have smaller blood vessels close to the surface of their bodies. This means that less blood needs to pump through their extremities and gets more oxygen and nutrients from the blood flow. In other words, they're basically built to be low bleeders. On top of that, camels have some tricks to keep from overheating. They can sweat, but only when it's really hot, thanks to their thick fur, which acts as insulation, keeping them cool in the shade and warm in the sun. Plus, their long legs help dissipate heat. And they don't pant like dogs do because that can increase water loss. Instead, they breathe through their noses, which are connected to tissues rich with blood vessels, allowing them to cool the blood before it reaches their brain. And finally, it seems that camels have a natural pain reliever. When researchers looked at the urine of camels, they found high levels of a chemical similar to ibuprofen. Normally, this chemical would signal pain, but in camels, it may help them deal with the heat without becoming overheated. In other words, every part of a camel's body works together to allow them to survive in some of the harshest conditions on Earth. While they don't store water in their humps or blood, their bodies are optimized to hang on to every drop of water they do have. And if you want to learn more about how animals survive, you can check out the series in the description. Thanks for watching.